learn yourself. Everybody's chemistry and body chemistry is different. Some people can take 2 grams and it'd be like they just had a couple pop brownies. Some people can take 1.5 grams and they can start seeing the devil. Welcome aboard the Just Tied Now ship with your host, Captain Naga. Today's episode is a very special one. I'm in a tree, you see. Beautiful blooming tree. Springtime is approaching, baby. Springtime is approaching. Thanks for tuning in. We're here. If it's the morning time and if it's the evening, if it's night, just take this boosh, take that TAI energy and tune in and breathe. Now that we're all here, now we all have nothing to fear, let's tell you about psychedelics. Y'all know how I am when it comes to this. But today's episode, talk about the shrooms. Shrooms are plants, and they have been grown for thousands and thousands of years, just naturally. Today's episode, I want to tie on 5 beneficial factors of ingesting psilocybin, shrooms, compared to 5 risks or ways that people don't really talk about when it comes to ingesting shrooms. Shout outs to Psych Substance. First, when you ingest shrooms, a beneficial factor that I have seen is that it can change your personality like that. You can live your whole life thinking that you was this person, that you built yourself up to be. This lawyer, this doctor, this student, this son, daughter, parent, this Bob, Trina, Gazelia. And then when you ingest it, going throughout the experience, you say, wow, this is just a character that was created for me. Or you'll see that in this character, you see the flaws that was built into it. And that it really is a character. Like when we go around and say, oh, that boy's a character, because they act like a cartoon or their personality is just so one way. For me, psilocybin allowed me to see my character, my place in this game that was going on. And I was able to change certain things. So I was able to see what built up to become Captain Naga, what life experiences made this. And I was able to dive deep into those experiences in my mind and change them up. Or be like, wow, this really happened. Repressed memories come up. Be like, oh, I forgot all about that. That was an awesome time when I was a kid. Man, that's probably why I'm this way now. But now that I'm thinking about it, now that I realize it's there back in my memory, I can fully commit to that. And I can have more confidence in myself. And a lot of repressed memories that we forgot and traumatizing thoughts can come up, and we can be able to really deal with them in a way that now that we're more realized as adults, we can handle those childhood traumas head on, literally face to face. I have the second way that shrooms are beneficial, or how I have seen them be beneficial. They have shown me that there's more to life than meets the eyes. They have shown me that the ways of the world, for me, this is what just my ties. There's something else going on behind the scenes. And what we see going on is just the relay of what already occurred. As if we lived in the plane of effects. And that was the plane of causality. Just getting real esoteric on you guys. But this is Captain Naga. Alright? The third fact that I have, third way that has benefited mankind as well as myself. It allowed people to reconnect with nature. Nature is us, just like the trees and the bees and the leaves and the turtles and the elephants. We're all here walking, planting our feet on planet Earth and doing what we have to do. What shrooms showed me was that we're all one, and we just exhibit individual personalities based off of our experiences and what we're capable of in those moments. A tree can't walk, so it's gonna have its own experiences. An elephant can't talk, so it's gonna have its own set of experiences. But we're all literally the same being. And that's what shrooms showed me. It connected me with nature, made me appreciate with these two eyes and my TAI thoughts, the overwhelming beauty of nature, of her. It is a her. And when you look, now when I look out, everything seems like a painting. Seems like, oh wow, I want to paint it. And this is very inspiring for different areas in my life, because now I feel more put together. Know thyself, know the universe. I see the beauty in everyday objects, because they were all created. And anything created is beautiful. Anything here is beautiful. When we call things and turn them as ugly, that's our own perceptions based off of our life game experiences we putting on it. But in essence, it's straight beauty. It's straight love. Love is the soul of everything. Not saying that there's not dark things out there, but in essence, everything is love. And when you able to see the love that's in yourself, which is what psilocybin has helped me do, you're able to see the love in everything else. All right? I have the fourth way. Excuse me. I have the fourth way that shrooms have benefited me. And that way that I have for you, it allowed me to read a lot more. I wasn't, excuse me again. Reading requires both sides of your brain to be working, I say. Need the analytical and imagination, because you need the focus to be able to sit there and read the words, and you need the imagination, the female spirit, to be able to create the images, so that it entertains you in the same way that TV does with subtitles. For me, psilocybin, after my experiences, I was able to sit there and read a book. Like, literally. Like, oh man, I gotta sit, not like, oh, I gotta sit here and read, but like, I really want to read this book. And while I'm sitting there, I'm crossing my leg, I'm laying back, and I'm really enjoying the mess out of this book. Now, mind you, I loved reading in the past, but you know how it is, growing up, got the technology, got things moving at you every 7 seconds, is changing into something else. So for me, it was so awesome to be able to sit there and actually read a book, build my knowledge base. Because things on TV and YouTube and everything, they tell you the surface things. But when you really read a book and tie on a book for yourself, really tie when you're reading it, you get your own thoughts, your own feelings. And like I said, you'll tie for yourself. You'll be able to really tie and see what that guy really said with no sugarcoating. And then you'll be able to implement it and change the world. Change your world, which is the world. Change your world. I remember reading Brave New World as a child. Well, in kindergarten, in high school. And that book really, I say to everybody, changed my life. Seeing how society was out of Huxley. Then to see that he dealt with psychedelics, that was a whole new playing field. But whoa, we're going to stay back on track and not divert. Reading Brave New World was so awesome to me, but I didn't read that many books afterwards. But now that I'm getting back into it, every book that I'm reading is like, wow, it's changing my life. Wow, it's changing my life. Every book that is amazing. It allows me to read. That's the fourth fact. Fifth fact for how psilocybin has benefited me. Psychedelic mushrooms, things you can just pick from anywhere, yet they're illegal, Schedule 1. But your body, I don't condone the use of drugs. I gotta say this. Don't condone the use of drugs illegally or legally. Your body is your temple. Do with it what you feel as though you must do. These are just my TAI feelings, my TAI thoughts, and I appreciate you for listening. So let's continue with the fifth way that they have benefited me. They allowed me to reconnect socially. And when I say socially, I really mean on a huge scale. With family and with friends. I was becoming such a loner. I was diving deep and really tying on a lot of esoteric things. And it was really pushing me away. Like some people say the hermit stage. Now that I tie on it. I was in the hermit stage. I was really going back away and retreating from people. And I was seeing people as not being knowledgeable enough to even hang with because they would never understand the things that I was getting into. And that was separating me from family and friends. And it really took a toll on me because without admitting it, I was becoming depressed. And I was becoming a sad loner. Sure, I was making myself content and happy by saying this and covering up feelings by doing this. But psilocybin allowed me to see that I was covering up feelings. And that I didn't have to hide a lot of things that I was doing. And that all I have to do is express myself and be me. And people are going to accept it or deny it. But my real friends and my family are going to accept me just as I accept their so-called out there ideas. It's all the same ball. I've seen that I put a lot of ideas in my head to shut myself up and shut myself out and lock myself in. And I will always say, this is the funny thing Captain Naga has to say, is that I will always say, I'm talking to them in my head. I had conversation with them in my head, so I don't really need to talk to them face to face. And you can ask a lot of my family members this. This is really what I will say to them. And they'll just look at me like, what are you talking about, boy? I missed you. I love you. Hey, what's going on today with you? Let's go out. And I would go out if they asked, but when it was up to me, nah. But psilocybin allowed me to come out of my shell, break out of my shell, and experience the world through touch and talking, and really play out this game instead of just being the fourth camera spirit, just observing, going around. I was able to shoot back into my body. I know for most people it takes them out of their body and experience for the first time, but for me it seems like I was out of my body most of my life, and shrooms helped me tap back into this domain, this realm of existence. All right, so now we move to the risk. We move to the things that most people don't talk about when it comes to shrooms and psychedelics. So we're gonna get a little personal. We always personal, but we're gonna get a little more personal. Cause that was about things that I've been hurt by, or that other people are so hurt by that they don't want to talk about. Get this crust out my eye. Psilocybin. If you have risk in your family, this is one of the things they say, and like in your family lineage, if people have been known to go be out of mind or have history of schizophrenia, anger problems, then when you take psilocybin, especially for the first few times, it will bring out those factors. So if you have a granddad that was schizophrenic or a mom that was schizophrenic, then there's a risk that when you ingest psilocybin, it will bring out those schizophrenic tendencies. You're like, whoa, did I just hear this? Did I just hear that? Whoa, what is happening? And you'll start, sometimes you can panic. You'll start to really panic if you starting to exhibit those symptoms of schizophrenia. And it can be really terrifying to throw people into a panic. It really can. And sometimes it don't matter about set or setting, because you is you. And most people take things without knowing what's really going on. So letting you guys know. Be careful and learn about your family history and deal with it years, months before you think of handling psychedelics. I have family history of schizophrenia, so for me to dive into this, I was really like, I don't know if I should do it. I don't know. But for me, it allowed me to conquer and travel back and deal with those situations. But that's just me. You can be very different. So let's move on to the second way that psilocybin can mess you up. The risk involved. What's another risk? Another risk is that it can make you think you know everything. It can put you in a position of tiredness, oneness, that you're not prepared, that when you're there, you're not prepared to leave, but your mind doesn't realize that you're back here in this 3D reality, and that everything that you was dealing with, the feats that you accomplished in those other worlds, you still have to accomplish them in these worlds. You still have work to do here. And the tricky thing about psychedelics in general is that they make you believe that you did everything you were supposed to do, that you learned and experienced everything that you ever will experience, and that all you have to do now is just sit and walk around. No. Personal experience, my friends. That's why I'm doing these videos every single day. You must put in work. You have to stay creative. You cannot let your ego control the substance and think that it is everything. Because the ego is not everything. It's a part of the everything. It's a part of the whole. And when you ingest these substances, when you ingest shrooms, it pushes your mind out, pushes your ego aside. But sometimes we take our ego on a ride and say, here, come with me, because we're afraid to let go. But when we don't let go during these experiences, our ego gets so tripped up and involved that we think that we're God right now. We think that we don't have to do anything, and that we can say anything to anybody in the most angry, uptight ways, not knowing, I guess, that you just needed to love them, and that all the knowledge that you learned don't mean nothing. No, don't mean nothing for real, if you're not implementing them in wholesome, balanced ways. All right, nobody likes the person and saying, God told me to tell you this, or God don't like when you do this, so you need to stop. Nobody likes when people point a bunch of fingers at you. Ah! Nobody likes that. All right? And now move on to the third way that shrooms can be a huge risk to you. Shrooms, man. They can mess you up. Now again, the third way that shrooms can mess up your life is if you're not willing to change once the experience has already occurred. Most people, they go through the experience, they see all these demons and scary things that's happening in their lives. They see it visually, like eyes poking out of trees, eyes everywhere just staring at them, jokes, people laughing at them, like people, those who have done psychedelics, y'all know what I mean. If you're not willing to change based off of the things that was thrown at you, and you're just like, oh, that's just some mind stuff, that's just and that's gonna carry with you for the rest of your life until you get rid of it, especially since it was shown to you. You can keep laughing at it all you want, but what you saw was you. And before you dive into this stuff, make sure that you're willing to change your life, or that you already working on changing your life every day, or that to the best of your capabilities, because they wake you up. Shrooms will wake you up, and you'll be like, whoa, I'm this messed up. Whoa, this is who I really am. I got blood on my hands. Oh my gosh, I thought I washed them every minute. Where's this blood from? And if you're not willing to deal with that blood on your hands, then you in for a roller coaster, because it's going to happen again and again and again. And you're going to have that experience where it seems as though someone literally told you that you were messing up your life, and you ignoring them. You're like, hey, no, I'm just keep doing me. It's very strange the people that I see actually do this, because as I said before, I don't know that many people personally that done psychedelics. I'm just now getting back out in the world, but I'll see experiences on YouTube and on Airwood of people that was just shocked, or say that, oh, I just had a beer or I just go out to the club. And to each his own, for real. Captain Naga says to each his own. But for me and my personal experiences, I seen that when I didn't change something that I really saw face to face during my experiences, it came back day after day after day, and it did not go away until I really shifted my perception, shifted my speech tone, my speech talk, the words that was coming out of my mouth, the way that I move, the way that I walk. Once I changed all of that, all the good thoughts, all the pure, lovely thoughts that I know that I was always attached to, just streamed through. And those mistakes, that mistake that I was making every day, now knowingly, man, I believe people on a higher level, if you want to tie on God and everything, are judged only most accordingly to what they know, to their level of consciousness, their conscious awareness. So when you put yourself out there and you really become aware of all these, of everything, you really have to shape yourself to do better. Alright. Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for watching, Tai'ers. Let's move on to the fourth way that psilocybin mushrooms are very risky. The fourth way psilocybin mushrooms are risky the fifth and final way. Thanks for tuning in and listening all the way up to this point. The fifth and final way for shrooms to be very risky to your life is if you take too much. Too often. Both. Too much or too often. Let's combine this 5A and 5B to one. When you take too much shrooms, especially your first time, you won't be able to take that much back. And therefore you'll be thrown into another world, and then you brought back here, and then you look around and you won't be able to comprehend anything, because you will say none of this makes sense, guys. None of this makes sense, and I can't explain anything that just happened. People start really freaking out. Take too much of a high dose, and this problem, like I said in the other settings, if you was not prepared mentally, if you was not prepared to deal with the traumas, then things are going to come up. It's going to freak you out. You're not going to be able to comprehend them, and it can really mess your life up. Or you can come out the experience, I heard sometimes, and you won't remember anything. It just feel like one big dream. You just woke up, and now, where am I? Oh, I'm just waking up. It could be a whole waste of an experience, or it can be an experience that just messed you up because you took too much. At a young age, especially taking too much, your brain doesn't fully develop to age of 25. So you bouncing around all these chemicals, having serotonin popping up and going down, dopamine popping up, going down. And then when you do it often, you're not paying attention to your dopamine levels spiking up every time you're doing this most pleasurable thing. So then you start doing it too often. Start piling on experience after experience. And I'm just talking microdose low experience. I'm talking about 2-3 gram experiences. People be going ham. You cannot do, I would not recommend to do that. I would not. I've seen somebody that was really taking it too much and just going for those experience after experience before even getting the chance to implement the last experiences into their life and shaping them. Just going back and back and back. Mind you, it is very entertaining. It could be very fun. But you can't have too much fun, and you can't be too bored. You gotta find a little middle ground as long as you're still here on Earth. Please, find your middle ground so that we can be great and still operate in this reality so people can see what we have, what we bring from that room here. Because they can't see what we see, but they can see what we bring back. When you go to that forbidden zone, as I'm always saying, go to that forbidden zone, bring back some gold, and show the people. Bring back, get that philosopher's stone. But when you go too often, and you take too much, more than you can handle, or you didn't do proper research to see what it is you probably can handle, because it does take a while for you to learn yourself. Everybody's chemistry and body chemistry is different. Some people can take 2 grams and it'd be like they just had a couple pop brownies. Some people can take 1.5 grams and they can start seeing the devil. So to each his own. Practice safe substances. Practice them safely. Do your research. Always TAI. Because this is the 5 beneficial ways that they have benefited me. And this is the 5 risky ways that they can harm you and that they have harmed me. So please TAI. And thanks for watching. So if you enjoyed this, if you was able to really TAI on these subjects, then drop some likes for me. Let me know that you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more videos. Psychedelics ones coming up. I'll TAI on motivations. Keep y'all motivated and inspired. Hey, this is just what I had to TAI on for today. So once again, your body is your body. Your temple is your temple. These are just my TAIs. Make sure you support us on Patreon. Going hard every day. And I could really use the financial support, the funds, to keep my mission alive. Because spiritually, it's going to be alive forever. But I cannot continue to do this to bring back some gold without the gold that's here, which is funds and money. So thank you for everyone that has been helping me out. I really do appreciate it. Let's continue on and grow into a mountain. If you enjoyed these videos, I have 1 final question for you as this FedEx truck goes by. We all tie, but do we really tie? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Until next time, it's Captain Naga sitting in this wonderful blooming tree, waiting for the springtime. So here you go. Yeah. Learn yourself. Everybody's chemistry and body chemistry is different. Some people can take 2 grams and it'd be like they just had a couple pop brownies. Some people can take 1.5 grams and they can start seeing the devil.